The average cost of everyday groceries has risen nearly 30% in the last 5 years, a change that has not gone unnoticed by Stephanie Baxter.
Yes, the eggs, the milk, the everything, even cereal is like ridiculously high.
Baxter does not receive food assistance benefits, but says her paycheck can't stretch enough to cover groceries.
Even my job just pays my bills and my rent, and, so it's hard.
With a line of cars wrapped around the block, Baxter says it's clear food insecurities can impact the entire community.
Even people that are working still need the little extra help. I know we do.
And in the wake of the government shutdown and the limited access to SNAP food aid, New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand says she's concerned about food insecurity ahead of the holidays. This morning, Gillibrand joined leaders from City Harvest and the West Side Campaign Against Hunger to hand out food and talk about the importance of supporting these organizations during a time when so many people are struggling.
Critical funding for City Harvest is at risk because of the Trump administration. They do not want to fund food stamps. They do not want to fund nutrition programs. They are dead set on making sure the most vulnerable in our city cannot get the support that they need.
The head of City Harvest says there were about $186 billion worth of cuts to SNAP funding in the Trump administration's Big Beautiful bill that passed back in July.
We're here at San Rafael Valley. It's beautiful, pristine, or it was before Trump decided to build this completely unnecessary border wall. Now it's a construction site. And when you look around and how remote this location is, no people are crossing the border here. What does cross here are animals, wildlife. These are corridors for migration. And what is going to be devastated by the continued building up of this wall is that pathway, but also the impact to our environment, the impact to our water, and the impact to our communities. This is a space that should be protected. And so I'm glad to stand here in solidarity with many organizations, including the Center for Biological Diversity, to fight in unity to protect this area.
All right, joining me right now is Democratic Congressman Brad Sherman of California. His district covers parts of Los Angeles ravaged by those wildfires earlier this year. Thanks so much for being with us. What is the latest that you have learned about this possible flooding in those areas that were decimated by the fires?
We've got hundreds of people evacuated, many thousands who have been told to stand by with an evacuation warning. So far, I haven't seen huge figures as to the cost of the damage, and I haven't been aware of any deaths in our area. But this is just the beginning, and we've got more rain coming in. The burn scar creates a terrible circumstance, as your video shows, that whether you're at the bottom of the hill or at the top of the hill, the fact that vegetation has been burned can create a real problem.
Yeah, it really is a very threatening situation. Thus far, are you satisfied with the level of support that residents in the area have been receiving, especially as they still try to recover from those fires?
So far, I don't want to micromanage or criticize. So far, it looks pretty good. What is more of the federal responsibility is whether we'll be providing any aid to those people who incur significant uninsured losses as a result of these floods. And the typical rule, these floods, in my area at least, are a direct result of the fire. But the FEMA has ruled in these cases that it's a separate disaster. I hope very much that we're able to pass supplemental legislation that, among other things, makes those who suffer from the burn scar in the same category as those who suffered from the burning.
Yeah. Speaking of legislation, on November 4th, voters in the Golden State approved a ballot measure last week that allows state Democratic lawmakers to replace congressional lines drawn by the state's independent commission with new ones that make 5 Republican-held U.S. House seats more favorable for Democrats. This week, the Justice Department sued Governor Gavin Newsom and Secretary of State Shirley Weber in an attempt to block that plan. What do you expect the response to be from the governor and the secretary? Was it kind of preemptively expecting that there might be a legal challenge And is there possibly a plan in place just in case?
This is a desperate legal move. It won't succeed. It's wrong on the facts. It's wrong on the law. The law is very clear. It's unfortunate law, and it's law I'd like to correct here in Washington, that says that states can discriminate for the purpose of partisan gain. And that is exactly what we did, and under current law, exactly what we're allowed to do. The lawsuit claims that somehow this was an effort to empower Latinos at the expense of everybody else. And look, I was there in the process. We had one objective, and that was to collect 5 seats for the Democrats. It had nothing to do with anybody's ethnicity. Of course, there are an awful lot of Latino Democrats in California, and if you're going to create 5 new Democratic seats, perhaps one will have a Latino majority. But and even if that was an objective, and it certainly wasn't because I was there, I don't think that would disqualify the plan in any circumstance. So this is a desperate legal move. These are the new lines that are going to be effective, and I look forward to representing my new district.
I was in the Capitol on January 6th with my colleagues. I served as one of the impeachment prosecutors in the impeachment trial that followed of President Trump. The notion that these senators would attempt to secure $1 million paydays connected to litigation with respect to January 6th is so outrageous and transparently corrupt on its face that, as you noted, several House Republicans, I think, felt compelled to at least create the perception that they were distancing themselves from these senators and this just corrupt effort at self-enrichment. But of course, actions speak louder than words, and it is important to recognize that every single House Republican, with the exception of 2, still voted for the bill on Wednesday that included this provision. So that provision is now the law of the land. They had every opportunity to support our amendment. They chose not to. We will have another opportunity, we hope, next week to pass this bill, and to ultimately, at that point, the question will be, what is the Speaker prepared to do to compel Senator Thune and the upper chamber to remove this provision from law? But it is transparently corrupt, and I think the American people understand.
Hey, everybody, I hope you're all doing well. The government shutdown is over. The silver lining to the government shutdown was I got to spend a lot of time visiting people, visiting businesses back in the district. Obviously, the very bad part of the government shutdown was it was shut down, and it was a serious disruption to people's lives, to people getting paychecks, to national security, a host of other things. But let's dive into all of the details about all of this. I just want to start out by saying, thankfully, the government is reopening. Now, after 43 days of what I think would very accurately be described as pain and suffering for the American people, the federal government is reopened. So how did we get to where we are? On Sunday, November 9th, 8 Senate Democrats finally listened to the American people and voted to end the shutdown, voted to reopen the government. That's right, just 8 of the Democrat senators. All the rest voted no. They wanted to continue to keep the government shut down. Fast forward, on Wednesday, November 12th, Republicans were joined by 6 Democrat representatives. All the rest of the Democrats voted no, and we voted to get the government reopened. We voted to send a bill to the president's desk, and the longest shutdown in American history. Now, to talk a little bit about this shutdown and what happens going forward. The delays and lags, they don't go away overnight. It does take a couple days to get things back up and running to full capacity. As far as missed payments and benefits, our air traffic controllers should have seen probably 70% of their pay returned in 24 to 48 hours after the government reopened. The remaining 30% might take about a week for that to go into place. For SNAP and WIC, those benefits, you should have seen those reinstated within a day of reopening as well. If you are having trouble or need assistance, do not hesitate to reach out to my office, whether here in Washington, D.C., or whether in Palm Beach County, Martin County, St. Lucie County. As always, we will do everything that we can to help you with the issues that you have. Now, this legislative package, it keeps our government fully funded until January 30, 2026. Over the next 2 months, we're going to work on passing the rest of the fiscal year 2026 funding bills and do the job that we were sent here to do. Debate government spending, ensure that every dollar that's spent puts you, the American people, the American taxpayer first. To everyone who felt the effects of this shutdown, whether you were furloughed, missed a paycheck, or critical benefits, experienced travel disruption, your pain has not gone unnoticed. I sincerely hope that this kind of dysfunction, it never occurs again. I want to thank all of those people that went to work even though they were not receiving a paycheck. Thank you for having that commitment to service. It's incredible to think that you did that for 43 days, went to work without getting that check, whether you were working in government here in Washington, D.C., or you were TSA in the Palm Beach International Airport, or you were an air traffic controller in Orlando or Palm Beach or Fort Lauderdale or Miami or Tampa or Jacksonville or somewhere else in Florida. Thank you for your work serving. It didn't go unnoticed by me. As always, it is an honor to serve you. Next week, I'll be back in Washington under an open federal government. I look forward to seeing you all around home over the weekend. You all take care. Hey everyone, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please click like and subscribe. I will be back on YouTube with more exclusive content, so stay tuned.
Iowa, in addition to opening up the government, we move forward key pieces of appropriations to make sure that farmers have the assistance they need this harvest season and all through next year. We also move forward key appropriations bills that I help lead on, including veterans benefit pay and military construction, all essential items to protecting our national security and the men and women who have served. As we march into the beginning of the next year, we're leading on key bills. One, affordability for housing, particularly in rural areas, where I've got great bipartisan support on our legislation. We're also looking to bring down the cost to help affordability for families, but also make sure that Iowans have access to the resources they need. We've got a great lineup of bills already on deck, and many, including ones I'm headed to the White House right now to help sign.
Students, sorry. That was my teacher voice. That was my congressman teacher voice. This guy's deep in. I cannot mess with him. Hey, how are you doing?
Very good.
Please.
All right. Thank you so much, Congressman. I'm sorry?
And then, Councilman, do you mind doing the pledge after we go? Okay.
Great. So first, my name is Cassine Gaines. I am the mayor of Hackensack, and I just wanted to welcome you all to our recreation center. We want to welcome the congressman, and on behalf of the city of Hackensack, the councilwoman, Sonia Clark Collins, and I have walked around and started to look at some of the apps that you've created for the Congressional App Challenge, and we are so incredibly impressed and amazed at the ingenuity and creativity that is in this room. A lot of times when we talk about technology, we think about just computers, and we forget sometimes about the creativity and the people that are behind all of these apps that we see and that we use. So continue to do the good work. The congressman talked about his teacher voice. I actually am a teacher in a public school here in Hackensack, and just very proud of all of you. And I think we're going to have our councilwoman lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Congressman.
Thanks so much. First of all, thank you so much to the mayor, councilwoman. Thank you so much for having us in Hackensack. It's always great to be here. I want to thank law enforcement who's here too. Thank you for your great service to our country. And I love this event. And I can't wait to go around and see I saw a little bit so far, see everyone's ingenuity and innovation. This is such an exciting thing for me because, and I know the parents and the judges feel the same way, you're the future. And seeing you at work, seeing what you've done and accomplished, it doesn't just blow us away, but I think this is how we're going to blow away the competition and other countries who are obviously trying to get the edge on us. And the bottom line is we need to be the leaders of innovation. You're not just going to be the ones creating the ideas of the future, but this is how we stay competitive. And to have such great young people doing such incredible things, to me, gives me incredible hope. I do a lot on AI in Congress. And cryptocurrency and blockchain in those areas. It's some of the stuff that I do. And I'm on the Intelligence Committee, where I oversee a subcommittee that oversees the NSA and cybersecurity. So all of these things, we see just like how important it is that we have the best and brightest minds working to keep us ahead, not just, of course, in the private sector, but in government. And I'm so excited to see what you've done. I do want to take a minute, and I know the mayor talked about this. He's a teacher as well as an incredible mayor. So he gets to spend time with young people every day and to see what you're doing. But part of the gift of some of the judges also for me is that they got a chance to look around and to judge all this. But I do want to thank Dr. Avi Vasta, who is here as one of our judges, Dr. Chan, Mr. Blinder, Dr. Gerg, and Dr. Lee, who are all here and from different companies and universities. And I just want to thank them for helping judge. It's a big deal that they're giving us their time, and they're also great relationships for you to have, so make sure you tell them that you want to meet them and stay in touch with them. And obviously, as you develop, it's a great place to spend time as you not just showcase today, but showcase for the future. I do want to show off a little bit about the judges. Dr. Vasta is a Fairleigh Dickinson University Assistant Professor in the School of Computer Science and teaches classes on blockchain technology, applied cryptography, data warehouse, and data mining, and deep learning. He is extremely passionate and qualified in the field of cybersecurity. Again, thank you, Dr. Vasta. Dr. Chan is a renowned chemist, is Dean of the School of Theoretical and Applied Sciences at Ramapo College, overseeing 34 diverse undergraduate and graduate programs, including biochemistry and chemistry, cybersecurity, nursing, and the Center for Data, Mathematical, and Computational Sciences. Thank you so much, Doctor. Alex Blinder is the Executive Director of Technology for Hackensack Public Schools, where they have a vision for a transformative educational environment. Every student educator has a seamless access to state-of-the-art technology and digital resources. Dr. Lee specializes in radio frequency and microwave engineering. I don't even understand what these things are that I'm talking to, but many of you probably do. Having recently worked as a senior designer engineer for Maccentric Technologies. He also holds a PhD in electrical and electronics engineering, why not, an extra PhD, from NYU's Tannen School of Engineering. Dr. Garg, Deepak Garg, with the Advertising Research Foundation, has more than a decade and a half of experience in machine learning, deep learning, and artificial intelligence, and has a PhD in mechanical engineering from UCLA. That's pretty impressive, everyone, right? Councilwoman, you also have a doctorate in something that I don't understand. Just kidding. Are you blown away too?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's pretty amazing. This is why Jersey's the best. We've got the best and brightest people. So anyway, I do want to thank again all the education and technology leaders who are here. Those of you who don't know, just quickly, the Congressional App Challenge is designed to encourage student participation in computer science and coding here in Jersey and across our country. Officially launched by the House of Representatives in 2015, this nationwide effort allows students to compete against their peers by creating an app for desktop or PC, web, tablet, mobile, or other devices. The challenge exists to promote innovation and engagement in computer science. It's open to all middle and high school students here in northern New Jersey in the 5th District. The winner from the 5th District will be chosen by our panel of expert judges, who obviously know a lot more than me about the best ideas, and the app will be featured online at congressionalappchallenge.us. The winning app will also be eligible to be on display in the United States Capitol, honoring all winners from across the country. It's really cool when you go down there and there's a whole room of the best ideas from around the nation. And we all go look, and we bring all these experts in, and by the way, it's a great way to get your ideas featured. I'm not saying it's great for college, but it's great for college. I'm particularly excited about the opportunity this competition presents for our students here in the 5th. I want to again thank the judges and the students who are involved. I also want to give an extra round of applause to all the parents and loved ones who are here. As a parent of a 16 and 13-year-old, I know how hard it can be and also how much work it takes to make sure that your children are focused on things like this, and I think it speaks volumes to our parents as well, and all the work you put in to make sure your children can succeed. I am incredibly honored to represent you here in Northern New Jersey in the United States. It's a gift for me. This is a gift. It's a gift to represent you. I'm very happy the government is open so that I could be here. And I'm blown away by your talent, so I can't wait to see them. I will tell you, when as I mentioned, I'm on the Intelligence Committee, when I go down into a basement without windows and look at what's going on in the world and where our threats are, but it's not just people who want to do us harm, but it's competitively, the big thing we focus on, especially with our number one adversary, the government of China, but Iran, North Korea, Russia. When we look at this, we're very, very focused on, it used to be just military threats and military edge. The technological edge, especially with AI right now, is an enormous focus that we spend time on as a committee, because those threats, right, what you can do online, what you can do on the cloud, what you can do through AI, and that in the set of information, not to just collect information, but also how that information can be used. I'm sure you saw there was some public threats with AI this week using one of the chatbots to launch an attack that was thwarted. But you realize how important it is that we have the best and brightest from a technology perspective for our edge from a security perspective. So please, I just want you to know how much I appreciate you and what you're doing. What you're doing is so important for our country and our future, and it's very exciting for me. So we're gonna go, the judges are gonna keep walking around, I'm gonna walk around, but I just wanna say thank you, and God bless you and our great country. Thank you so much.
So we wanna talk about abuse of power, huh? Well, let me start here. President Trump's only expertise on crime is committing it, not preventing it. Enabling it, not ending it, and covering it up, not cleaning it up. He has unleashed a corporate agenda to enrich himself and his wealthy donors. Right now, as we sit here, Trump is bending over backwards to protect Ghislaine Maxwell, a convicted sex trafficker who preyed on children, and blocking the release of the Epstein files to shield criminals from accountability.
We had a hearing, a shadow hearing that I've been doing as the top Democrat on the Immigration Subcommittee in Chicago. And it was heartbreaking to hear all the stories. A person who's in the armed forces, a young man whose father was detained, and by the time he flew back to the country, his father was deported. We were in daycare centers, in elementary schools where tear gas was being deployed. Schools were going on soft lockdown because they feared for their kids' safety. Moms who were outside waiting, not knowing if they were going to get picked up. And so I really do think this has made it into the psyche in a different way. I also think it's moved Republicans, independents, and Democrats on the issue of immigration. And I hope that it stiffens the spine of Democrats who often are very quick to pivot away from values-based thinking around what is comprehensive, humane immigration reform, why we have to get it done, and why it is ultimately the answer, rather than criminalizing immigrants and attacking immigrants in the way that we saw some Democrats starting to do at the end of last year and even the beginning of this year. I think a lot of that has gone away, and hopefully now we can get on a path to really reforming the immigration system, but right now fighting back against the abuses of an out-of-control, rogue DHS, Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, and all of the people who are inflicting this kind of cruelty and violence in a way that in my entire time working on immigration, I have never seen. Never.
One of the most shocking things that I saw, and one of the most courageous things that I saw that same year, was another senator from Arizona that really did save the ACA. And more importantly, hundreds of thousands of lives of Americans across the country and tens here. And it was John McCain. And I was on the floor of the Senate at that point. I was in the House, in my House office, and I turned on the TV and I saw that it was the last vote for the ACA on the Senate floor. And I thought, you know what, I need to go see this. And I wanted to go see this in person. I didn't go talk to John because Senator McCain hated me at this point, just to be honest. God bless him, but hey, I got his point of view. Navy guy, Marine guy. And I go up to the clerk and I said, can I go to the gallery? Like, you're a member of Congress. You could actually go into the well, onto the floor of the Senate. And I was there when I saw the courageous act of Senator McCain, when he realized that there was no solution that was going to end up making this country healthier, safer, and that hundreds, millions of Americans weren't going to be affected in a negative way. And that's when you saw his thumb down. Right now what we're asking for is, again, political courage. And I actually don't even think it takes that much courage to say, I want to protect 24 million Americans from having their insurance rates premiums doubled.
That, of course, was deliberate, because getting the truth from Maxwell was not the object. Getting an exonerating statement, exonerating testimony for Donald Trump was the object. And, of course, it appears that resulted in Maxwell being transferred to this, minimum security concierge service providing institution that is not suitable for sex offenders. So on the one hand, it raises profound questions about why Blanche wasn't prepared and didn't know the facts. But more than that, it really underscores what Amanda said, and that is, we need a real investigation here. If they didn't have the emails from the estate, it's because Kash Patel didn't ask for them, didn't subpoena them, didn't want them. I think we see in these emails that are now dribbling out just why Bondi and Patel don't want to release what they already have and don't want to do the thorough investigation that was apparently never done by the government.
Please fund hope, fund research. Childhood cancer is not charity. It is a moral obligation. Hello?
Hi, is this Christy? It's Tammy Duckworth calling.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Senator. How are you?
I wanted to check in with you both and hear a little bit more about what Alexander is going through.
We're always happy to talk about Alexander, our fighter who is right here with us.
Hi, Alexander.
And this is Charlotte. Charlotte's 12.
Hi, Charlotte.
So Alexander was diagnosed with high-risk aggressive medulloblastoma brain cancer when he was 4. He is 6 now. He is fighting hard.
I'm not 6. I'm 6 3/4.
Oh,
6 3/4. Oh, it's important to say the 3/4. Yes.
He has endured major brain surgery, the highest dose of radiation that you can have in your lifetime, which caused him to have profound permanent hearing loss.
We get hope from the idea that research will provide cures in the near to medium term that could help Alexander that just don't exist right now. We need hope, and families like us need hope. But the hope is that next year or the year after that, some better treatment will come along. That only happens through research, through continued sustained funding.
What's your message to Congress?
Please fund hope, fund research. Childhood cancer is not charity. It is a moral obligation. The Give Kids a Chance Act removes regulatory barriers so that kids can access multiple therapies just like adults do. We need this to be the bipartisan issue that it is. Alexander deserves better. All kids deserve better.
If the government doesn't exist to protect its most vulnerable citizens, what does it exist for? What is the point if we can't come together on an issue like this?
Thank you for speaking to me about this. And I just want you to know that we've taken a look at it, and I have put in a request to be added as a co-sponsor on that piece of legislation.
So wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing it forward.
You made our day.
Thank you so much. Go take care of those little one of yours and have a great evening.
We will. You go hug your little ones tight too.
All right, still walking through the COP, and what I'm hearing is folks are really glad that the Trump administration is here because they just screw things up. And a lot of progress is being made without them, but we're also losing a lot of ground as a country because of the extent of the Trump administration's corruption by the fossil fuel industry. It actually really hurts us economically to be missing out on the clean energy transition and to be missing out on global leadership and to look like a bunch of jerks. It just doesn't work for most Americans. but it works for his fossil fuel donors, and that's good enough for Donald Trump.